The Philadelphia Eagles evidently have numerous decisions to navigate this offseason. Philadelphia stands one game away from making history, but following this, challenging choices will necessitate attention. The Eagles have several crucial players entering free agency this offseason, including Zach Bond, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, and Mekhi Becton, among others. The franchise possesses limited cap space, currently estimated at slightly over $13 million in effective cap space according to Over the Cap. While the Eagles may find ways to create additional cap space through restructuring contracts, a degree of player turnover is anticipated. ESPN's Bill Barnwell recently examined the rosters of each playoff team as they approach the offseason and outlined essential priorities along with potential roster cuts. For the Eagles, Barnwell asserted that re-signing Sweat should be their foremost objective. Top priority, Sweat, Barnwell noted. While not a particularly extensive list of notable free agents exists, several key contributors are involved, including three vital players within Philadelphia's esteemed defensive line. Brandon Graham is facing a decision between retirement or returning to Philadelphia, yet Sweat and Williams represent younger and valuable assets. Given that Bryce Huff has struggled significantly during his initial season with the Eagles, General Manager Howie Roseman may be more inclined to retain Sweat to complement Nolan Smith Jr. It is worth noting that the franchise tag for linebackers is determined by the market of edge rushers identified as linebackers rather than defensive ends. Thus, the projected $27.1 million does not align with the expectations for off-ball linebackers such as Bond. The pinnacle of the market for inside linebackers includes Roquan Smith's average annual salary of $20 million. It remains improbable that Philadelphia will allocate such a sum for a linebacker, particularly with Nakobe Dean rehabilitating from a torn Achilles injury. However, there was a period when Roseman might not have seriously considered offering a running back $12.5 million annually. Ultimately, time will provide clarity. Sweat is set to become a free agent upon the expiration of his $10 million contract. Regardless of the outcome, it is hoped that the Eagles will secure a Super Bowl ring as a testament to their season. Indeed, we are merely 1 week away from the most pivotal game of the year in the NFL, Super Bowl LIX. Fans of American football are expected to celebrate the event irrespective of their team's presence in the finals. The Kansas City Chiefs will confront the Philadelphia Eagles at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Both teams face significant pressure. While the Chiefs aim to clinch their third consecutive championship and maintain their supremacy in the NFL, the Eagles seek to achieve the championship that has eluded them in recent years. With so much at stake for both teams in the upcoming week, Philadelphia has already begun contemplating the following season, and speculation has certainly ignited discussions within the city. Saquon Barkley has emerged as a pivotal player for the Eagles this season. However, his future may be uncertain amidst Philadelphia's contingency plans. According to local journalist Anthony DeBona, Philadelphia has reportedly conducted several discussions with Miami's collegiate running back, the distinguished Damian Martinez. Indications suggest he may emerge as Philadelphia's upcoming draft candidate, which would represent a significant setback for the Miami Hurricanes. Damian Martinez is a prominent figure in college football and appears to be a viable substitute should Saquon Barkley choose an unexpected exit. The 21-year-old from Oregon State earned the Pac-12 Offensive Rookie of the Year accolade in 2023. Following his transfer to Miami, his draft prospects have soared. He amassed 1,002 rushing yards and achieved 10 touchdowns this season. Conversely, Saquon is recognized as the all-time rushing leader in the NFL and is poised to surpass Eric Dickerson's record with 345 career attempts recorded this season. What accounts for the heightened interest in running backs? Barkley, who transitioned to the Eagles from the Giants under a 3-year contract valued at $37,750,000, might pursue new opportunities once his contract concludes in 2026. Thus, it could be prudent to have a contingency plan. Travis Kelce ranks among the finest tight ends in NFL history, boasting a record of 10 Pro Bowl selections, 7 All-Pro honors, and 3 Super Bowl championships, while also being one of the most accomplished postseason receivers ever. Patrick Mahomes' preferred receiver has tallied 174 receptions for 2,039 yards and 20 touchdowns across 24 playoff contests. In addition, Kelsey is romantically involved with arguably the world's most famous celebrity and is the sibling of Philadelphia's most beloved figure. At times, Travis nearly assumes the status of an honorary Eagle, assisting his brother Jason with the Eagles' autism charity initiatives along the Jersey Shore, at least when his Kansas City team is not focused on retaining the Lombardi Trophy. Few can rival such a remarkable resume. However, Kelsey's peer in Philadelphia is also crafting his own legacy with a playoff performance comprising 15 receptions for 188 yards during Philadelphia's journey to Super Bowl LIX, where the 17-3 Eagles are set to face the 17-2 Chiefs for the second time in 3 years. As the match approaches, Dallas Goedert stands as the Eagles' all-time leader in postseason receiving, with a total of 50 catches for 535 yards. As offensive players, the two do not directly compete. Nonetheless, the presence of another star in the same position on the opposing side inherently fosters motivation to excel on the same platform. Goedert remains aware of the necessity to prevent Kelsey's influence from overshadowing his responsibilities within the game plan. "I aim to contribute in any way possible to secure a victory for this team," Goedert stated. "If the ball comes my direction, that's excellent. If my involvement lies in blocking, that's also commendable. If I'm creating space for others, that too is advantageous." I hold a significant amount of admiration for Tavis. It is enjoyable to observe him, and it is intriguing to see his performance year after year. He is undoubtedly one of, if not the finest, to have ever participated in this sport. I do not compete against him directly. Hence, I will simply do whatever is within my capacity to assist the team in achieving victory. The two athletes have developed a friendship, fostered not only through Jason Kelsey, but also through the annual Tight End University, an initiative conceived during the offseason by Travis, George Kittle, and Greg Olson, wherein tight ends convene to enhance their skills collaboratively. When he delivers his presentations at Tight End University, I pay close attention. "It's really quite impressive," remarked Goedert. "He possesses such a degree of freedom within their offense that he can engage in various types of play. It is not merely restricted to deep crosses or routes that extend to 10 yards. If he identifies space, he adeptly capitalizes on it. His synergy with Mahomes is remarkable, as they consistently operate in harmony. That is the essence of what I strive to instill in Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. Stay with me. If you require my support, I will be present, ready to make plays." Hurts elaborated on Goedert's commitment during the week. "Each offseason, we dedicate substantial time to working together," Hurts stated. "Opportunities present themselves in various forms, and he has always exhibited diligence and patience, particularly when he traveled to Houston. Typically, we convene in California. All of these efforts yield benefits, and this embodies our approach as we approach this game. Essentially, all of these games, the cumulative work and time we invest, culminate in timely advantages. Philadelphia Eagles right tackle Lane Johnson will be 35 at the commencement of the 2025 NFL season, coinciding with Super Bowl LIX. However, Johnson is not considering retirement. "I am unequivocally not retiring following this game, regardless of the outcome," Johnson asserted on Saturday. "I will certainly be playing next year. That is how I approach it, especially as age advances, 1 year at a time. However, physically, I feel significantly better than I have over the past couple of years. I genuinely feel good. For this period of the year, that is typically not the case. I am grateful. We have a commendable team here to assist us in all aspects." Johnson, a 2-time All-Pro and 6-time Pro Bowler, has served as Philadelphia's primary right tackle since his rookie season in 2013. Super Bowl LIX will represent the third Super Bowl in which he has played a starting role for the Eagles, alongside Super Bowl LII and Super Bowl LVI. According to Pro Football Focus, Johnson ranks 6th among offensive tackles this season in pass blocking grade, 88-1, 7th in overall grade, 85-4, and 12th in run blocking grade, 80-0. 2 years ago, Johnson and the Eagles experienced a devastating defeat against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl LVI, relinquishing a 24-14 halftime advantage and ultimately losing 38-35. They seek retribution in the forthcoming week. "We did not complete what we initiated a couple of years ago," Johnson stated. "We possess a significant opportunity to perform well and achieve something remarkable. That occupies our thoughts, but for me personally, I endeavor to avoid becoming embroiled in the emotions surrounding it. I perceive it merely as an obstacle, and we must determine a means to remove it from our path." Regarding the contest on Johnson's side of the field, the Philadelphia offense averaged 187. 9 passing yards, 29th in the NFL, 179. 3 rushing yards, 2nd, 367. 2 total yards, 8th, and 27. 2 points, 7th per game during the regular season. The Eagles will face a Chiefs defense that allowed 218. 8 passing yards, 18th, 101. 8 rushing yards, 8th, 320. 6 total yards, 9th, and 19. 2 points, 4th per game during the regular season. If the Eagles succeed, they would thwart the Chiefs' attempt to become the first team to achieve a three-peat in the Super Bowl era. Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints selected a relatively unknown pass rusher from Wisconsin, Zach Bond, in the 3rd round of the 2020 draft. After making a significant impact as an off-ball linebacker during his inaugural season with the Philadelphia Eagles, could Payton contemplate rekindling his connection with the first-team All-Pro at the Denver Broncos in 2025? As the Eagles prepare to compete against the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl LE, and with Bond serving as a key player for the NFL's top defense, it is plausible that Philadelphia GM Howie Roseman will make a concerted effort to re-sign his premier impending free agent. However, insider Dan Graziano recently forecasted that Bond may secure $60 million in the open market, a sum that could exceed the financial capacity of an Eagles team facing limitations in cap space as the new league year unfolds. With this context in mind, Jordan Dajani of CBS Sports anticipates that Bond will become available this March and sign with Payton's Broncos. His analysis included the following. The Broncos received solid contributions from Cody Barton, but Sean Payton might opt to enhance the roster with a player he originally drafted in the 3rd round back in 2020 with the Saints. Bond emerged as one of the premier players in the NFL this past season, amassing 151 combined tackles and 5 sacks during the regular season. He also distinguished himself by becoming the first player to achieve 10 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and a fumble recovery in a conference championship game or Super Bowl since Charles Tillman in Super Bowl XLI. Bond is set to benefit from a lucrative contract with Denver following a standout year in Philadelphia. The Eagles may encounter challenges regarding Bond, as the franchise tag figure for linebackers is inflated by elite edge defenders. A revised contract with an average annual value of $10 to $15 million appears to be the sole viable option moving forward, and the Eagles must also evaluate re-signing other vital starters, including DT Milton Williams, edge Josh Sweat, and RG Mekhi Becton. That being said, there exists a reciprocal interest between Bond and the Eagles in reaching an agreement, and Payton is too proud to engage in top market negotiations for a player he selected and failed to cultivate during his tenure with the Saints. Bond served primarily as a situational pass rusher for New Orleans, never surpassing 30 tackles in any given season. The Eagles are poised to embark on an intriguing offseason, potentially following a Super Bowl championship. However, current indications suggest that Bond will be their foremost priority in free agency.